delivering customer centricity. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And I hope I am able to share the whiteboard. Just give me a minute. Yeah.
कुछ दरवाजा खोल के रख देने बोला, रिटर्न आएगा तो हो गया.
So before I start the class, may I request participants to kindly mute their personal talks? Okay. So shall we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
There are few participants still, they are logging in. Okay, fine. So I hope all of you have read the case, which is on EMC. Yeah, have you read? Because if you do not read the case, you will not appreciate the case discussion, nor the class participation will not be that encouraging. Before I start, I should, take a little time to, appreciate Mr. Sukhdev has been quite very involved. So he has written his learning from this case, his understanding in a form of a PPT. He has sent it to me. I went through, Sukhdev. I appreciate your effort and your involvement. Okay, so let's try to understand this case, which is all about customer centricity. Yeah. So if we see Mr. William, who was a senior vice president, all of you, if you can see the, the case, may I request all of you to have the case at your hand or on the table? Let's be on page 1, para 1. The case starts with how William, who has been talking a lot about this company, has always put the customers squarely at the center of the focus. Yeah, so therefore you are not product oriented, which the company initially was. And then they shifted their focus to customer centricity. In this, they say that they have been, initially it was more of one product. Their focus was more into 100% of their revenue came from one product line, which was data storage. Yeah. And the company was able to then innovate, and it went for aggressive, acquisition, and tried to sold just 4,000 products, including hardware, software, services. And it also went for enlarging the customer base from corporate client to diverse customer base, which included world's largest companies, small business, and individual customers. That means just look how the company has been so very progressive and very transformational in terms of shifting the focus, number one, from product to customer. Number two, from one product, which was 100% of their flagship product, focus went to 4,000 plus products. And also their customer base changed from the big corporate clients to individual customers. If we continue in the same page, come to para 3, which says the sales people played a major role, because this is a case of B2B. Yeah. So they played a major role, and the role was very complex. Reason being, the buying process was also very complex. Initially, the sales people were always trying to educate customers through their purchase funnel, more so in the early stage of their product need. If you remember, you recollect when I taught you product decision journey. So over here, their first journey was more to do with your, interacting face to face, physically, one to one. They were going for having the interactions. But now what has happened is there has been a shift from the physical interaction, which has been the major focus. There has been a decrease. Why? Because the digital interaction has taken a hit, meaning it has become the in thing. And now they would like to engage customers, one, through digital, two, across the purchase journey, not only focusing on the initial part of the journey, which is to do with need recognition and search for information, but they have to take them through the entire journey. And why so? Because earlier they used to have face-to-face interaction, that too in the early part of the decision stage. Now, because there has been, a lot of increase in your web and internet and all these things coming in, they want to go for delivering a world-class, high-touch service along with their product, but it is becoming little not very tangible, untenable, because look, you cannot do this with a one size fits all because clients are different, purchase journeys are different, every stage is not the same. Selling it digitally is also not equally the same. The clients are different. Yeah, you also have competition. And also the case ends up saying, should you rely on Dell and and IBM as a third party, or should you take everything yourself? That too through the digital journey. If I may request you to come to the second page in the first para, it talks about, EMC has been trying, it is contemplating to go for online user, technical community, using podcasting, blogging, virtual sales meeting, chat as high-tech solution to deliver high-touch customer service. Why should they go for blogging, virtual sales meeting, podcast? You people just tell me, do you people also use such type of digital platforms? Yeah. May I know?
Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead. Vaishaka, you just tell.
Yes, probably to seek first-hand information about product launches. Whenever there's a new launch, they do a lot of influencer collaborations and a live broadcast of the product and its details, right? So we do attend, and it is in today's time it has become difficult to be present everywhere physically, and we are doing 100 things at in the same hour, right? So
Sure,
it
sure.
has been a very digital world now.
Correct. So one thing is that if you look at the case is not after COVID. This case has been very old. It's almost in the year to early 2010, 11, during that time. And you just see how this company has been so aggressive in terms of its digital presence, in terms of its internet, interactions, and beyond face-to-face, physical. Now we need to understand, if you figure it out, one side is the consumer decision journey, which is a funnel during that time. And they used to concentrate more in this through physical face to face. Their clients, meaning the customer base, has changed, which means from the large corporate, they have moved on to small and medium and individual, which is very important, individual. So that means this gamete and this gamete are not same. One, two, even if this gamete is same, they are not of the same requirement and need. They may be different. Now look at their product. If you remember, I said now the service, if you are dealing with service or product, that's important. So you can start with pure goods and you may end with pure services. So journey of a company may be, they started with pure goods, which are hardware. They started offering, hybrid. Hybrid means you are also giving goods as well as services. Goods are tangible, services are intangible. Yeah, because it is more to do with your post purchase surveys or fixing of the problem of the customer. And now they are moving also to the area of consulting, managing their data storage, yeah, handling their intelligence, privacy, security of the data. So therefore, figure it out. Why did the company went through such a transition? Also, if we figure it out, it was a company which was, product. Now it has become customer oriented, which means customer centric. So many changes are happening with this company, and the company is constantly trying to innovate, not only in terms of product or new customers, but also in terms of their process, their culture, and the approach. If you look over here, it says there was a time when the company faced the problem of some of their salespeople leaving around out of 10 left the company every year, half of them were fired. So in between, the company had some, issues which we will handle it out. If you see over here, they figured out that they wanted to have a connect with the customers, because if you do not sell to them and don't invest a lot of time in developing the relationship and nurturing a trust, then you don't get a lot of information about customer. And why is information important? Why the connect to the customer is so important? Yeah, please. Can anyone tell me? Yeah. So if EMC is directly connected to the customer through their sales force, it has an advantage. So yes, Amit, what is the advantage? And then ma'am. Yes, please.
Well, good afternoon, ma'am. So I've gone through the case, and there were various interesting findings. So one was, I'll start with 1979, when they've started with furniture selling to the storage selling,
Sure.
right? So they built the base while connecting with the customers, right? The second piece, when it comes to coming to the customer centricity, I think the major turnaround time happened when 1992, when Mr. Reuter came as in president and CEO, right, wherein his focus was more on the customer relationship building, which wherein I can see certain customer like Oracle stating that there was some problem. It went to the VP, CIO, CTO level, and they were able to resolve within the limited time frame. They came up with a policy kind of guilty until proven innocent. They formed some sort of collaboration with the suppliers, so that by the
So
time
they
it reached to
tried
the
and
customer.
experimented many things. Yeah. So may I ask, Sukhdev, I will come to you, Mayank, and then Sukhdev. Yes, ma'am. We make it short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Yes.
we need to take into consideration so that customers, so that we can understand the need of the customers well. So if they are in the pipeline, we'll be able to better understand the needs of the customer
Correct. So
and
if there is an
provide a better service to them.
intermediary, you are always depending on the intermediary, and you don't know what he will filter out. Correct. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, Sukhdev, please, you are on mute. Yeah, please go ahead. Sukhdev. No, your voice is not clear. There is a crack. Maybe you can set your mic. Okay, meanwhile, before we allow Sukhdev, let him set his mic. So if you can see, they were depending on third party value-added sellers. If you can see, they
Madam, is
all
it audible now?
value-added services, reseller, which we say,
Yes,
value-added reseller,
there may
to
be
help sell their
problem with
products.
the
Yeah.
net.
So why did they use the value-added service, and what is the demerit and merit of that? Yes, Sukhdev, please go ahead. Sukhdev, are you connected or is it disconnected? I don't know. Maybe I'm not able to connect him. Yeah, fine enough. So can anyone tell me why did they go for value-added services? If you look to page 2, para, before building a business, it said EMC had added value-added resellers to help sell their product. Yeah. And this distance EMC from the customer, making it hard to detect and solve their problem. So the distance you are from the customer, it takes you time to know their problems and solve it immediately. So value-added reseller, who is a value-added reseller? Can anyone tell me? Yeah. Please. Can anyone tell me what is value-added reseller? Yes, only Amit and Mayank are raising hand. What about others? Seems they are not available for the class. Yeah, how about others? Sandeep, Gautam, Shivendra? Please speak. Feel free. Pratik. Yeah, others too, I don't see them. They are all blank. Yeah, please. Sandeep, would you like to, when do you use the value-added reseller? They do have an advantage also. Yeah.
Can you just, ma'am, repeat the question? Value added?
Mayank, can you give the answer? Why do we go for a value-added reseller? Why did they use a value-added reseller?
It is kind of a symbiotic relationship in which both the seller can use their customer base. In EMC's case, they used initially Dell as a value-added reseller.
What was Dell doing?
They were providing servers, and EMC was providing the storage
Correct.
technology to
So
them.
in value-added services, possible that you together collaborate for joint advertising, for
Exactly.
promotion, as a distribution partner, right? Or you can also go, they will devise and you will go for storage, right? So as you rightly said, they were going for the storage. So if you can read page 2 para, which is building a business, look to the second para, first line. It said that selling they started selling the memory boards which allowed to store more data. So continuously this company was innovative and improving. Yeah. And but there was time when they were very aggressive. These all change, becoming customer oriented, from product oriented, from one product dependency to diversifying into different products, then adding on value added reseller, then thinking that they should not depend a lot on them. All these came with the experience. It's not that they did on day one. They did make many mistakes and they learned from it, right? So for example, if you see, initially they had a mindset of aggressive selling approach wherein they were of a mindset take it or leave it attitude. The salespeople had such type of attitude, either you take or you leave, so we would not be bothered about this. And technical support, after sales service were virtually non-existent. So if you see, this company went through a roller coaster. Sometimes they did extremely bad and they realized that how important the customer centricity is, and therefore they incorporated it. So if you see, they started entering into new markets and with new product line, including memory cards and disk drivers. So another thing, important thing which you can learn from this case is how you can be very, smart in preempting what type of product you would be doing well. Like for example, if you have read the BCG matrix, it says that you may have a market, growth and market share. So if this is low and this side is high and high, let us say you are here, your products, majority of your products are here, meaning not only that you are doing bad as say share is concerned, meaning your market share is not big, you are not a big player, fine enough. Also, you are not in a market which is growing. This market does not have a future perspective. Can you go, even if you are low in market share, but you are somewhere here, at least it gives you a chance that possible through your innovations, competencies, right? And more creative approach, at least you can increase your market share because the product or the business or the category is in the growth, because the market is growing, it's a future product, right? Let us say the market is growing, yeah, and you are doing excellent, then so that's a very good position, but you need to maintain it. And this position is where you are doing a very good thing as a company, but as the business industry, it would not give you a lot of bright future, because the future of this particular category, business or industry will not grow. So therefore, you need to understand when they went for a lot of new innovations, how good they were in preempting which type of product will do well. And if you see last para page 2, trouble was lurking on the horizon, which brought EMC to the verge of bankruptcy. Almost they were having bankruptcy because there was a lot of complaint, the defective drivers. These drivers, they had no system which would deal with this problem. They had quality issues, and therefore the company felt that not a single product is something which would stick. They were falling badly in terms of expectation and in terms of quality. Now let's go. That means when a company is not doing well, it does not mean it will not do well. Yeah. I was listening to one of the interview today after the World Cup match of Pakistan losing. So the line goes in this way, and it was a very impressive line which said there is nothing called loss. Yeah, either you win or you learn from the loss, right? So look over here how the company learns. So don't get worried if you are failing in some years or in some industry. You need to learn and figure out what you need to do. So what they did, when they were not doing very well in their disk in terms of quality, they wanted to replace the disk, and in the, in this madness of delivering customer the disk with the quality, they rushed and they gave defective pieces, right? And also they went to such an extent that they started giving the product of IBM. Yeah. So what are you doing? Yeah, you should not be that desperate. Correct. Sometimes you may make mistakes when you are too desperate. So therefore, this made them, go forcefully to lay down some of their employee because their profit was a severe hit. And they lost 8 million in 1988. Look at the company's journey. And now, when you look over here, they embraced a new culture of customer centricity. So, it's a culture. So, when you are talking about a culture, when I say customer centricity, it does not mean you need to have a chief marketing officer. It does not mean your marketing officer should be very jazzy or very smart or, should be somebody who should be very attractive. No, it is a culture which should come from the leadership down to the below level. Every individual should be aware what is the mission, what is his role, how much empowered he or she is. So therefore, they talk about centricity, wherein they said that when a customer, this is an important line, when a customer believes in you, yeah, they go to large extent, they will stick to you no matter, even if you are high priced or even if you are in crisis. And this we have seen in case of Maggie Nestle. Yeah, when Nestle was in crisis, and Top Ramen and Patanjali, they entered into the market and took over the market share of Maggie because they were asked, the products were called off from the shelf. But then, with the community of the fan followers, as well as huge amount of new product, they could regain the market share. So therefore, it is something which you need to know how powerful is customer services. And somewhere they also figured out that the number of calls which was coming, it was around 600 customers call, 500 customer visit. So it was a huge complaint which was, hitting the company. But then the company was able to figure out what should we do so that we are able to reach the expectation through quality service, innovation, interaction, very important, customer interaction. And when we say customer interaction, which we will study in greater detail in the next class, what is marketing research? How do you do customer insight? What are the methods? Are they same? How you can utilize customer insight? What are the methodology, tools, technique? We will discuss in detail, but first of all, you need to appreciate how customer centricity is so important. Yeah. Now, if you look over here, it became a guiding principle of corporate culture. You understand what is a culture? Guiding principle. I have given you a lot of examples. I talked about Northstone. I talked about Starbucks. I have also mentioned the case of, this is a company which handled the customer call over the phone for 10 hours. And they said, we can go to any extent but customer service. There is a hotel which, what they did, this host, when they came to this hotel and they stayed there, the baby had some problem with the food, with the milk. So they asked if you can get us some milk which would not impact his health. They searched and they figured out that in a particular place they would get a special category, and they called, one of the staff called the mother who sent it through the flight. What I'm trying to say is you go beyond the expectation of the customer. So you don't only commit to your claims or promises. Sometimes you deliver some surprise, and these are good surprises which are beyond the expectations. So they had a total customer experience, and there were senior managers who took the ownership. You understand what is the owner? I owe this. So if, let us say, some customers are there and they want to ask you something, and you say, look, I am just a gatekeeper, or I am just a receptionist, how can I help you? That means the company does not have culture of the customer centricity. Even a gatekeeper or a receptionist should be empowered to take you through that particular excitement or some surprises which are so delightful. But company has to empower them. Now go to listening to the voice of the customer. This I will be taking in detail in the next session. What does it say? How do you listen to the voice of the customers? Any idea how do you people do? Can you tell me? Any one of you in your organization, how do you do? How do you listen to the voice of the customer? Yeah.
Online feedbacks, online
Normally
reviews,
what we do.
One by
feedback.
one. Tarang? Yes, Tarang?
Yeah, ma'am. So we usually survey the customers through multiple surveys. We get to know what they are trying to say, though, and we drive the insights.
Okay.
Second is obviously some random calls, like we randomly get a data of 100 people out of some thousands, and we randomly call them to check what's happening. So this is the second way of doing it.
Very good. Sameer? Yes, Sameer.
Ma'am, apart from surveys and calls, we do check our app reviews. Generally, what happens if customer is satisfied or if he wants any kind of improvement, then he write review on that our app. As well as we also check social media.
Yeah, sentiment.
Social media, like whatever feedback they are giving on social media.
Okay, fine enough. Any other person? Yes, Sanyogita. Yeah, Sanyogita. Then Sameer. Make it short, okay? Huh.
Yeah, social listening tools are now available. So, through that we can do, and then post marketing observational studies we use because
Observation is very good. Observation. And what type of observation you do? Where you do?
so, with the target audience who are using our products, we will ask them about their experience. We'll ask them a lot of questions about around the product, and we'll take their, feedback on it. Post marketing
Okay, so
observational
observations can
studies.
be two
Yeah.
types. Observations are two types, which I will explain in detail. One is you participate, be with them for some months, weeks to understand their culture, their sentiments, and many other very tricky things or very, cultures which are so very deep ingrained into their life style. And one is non-participative, wherein you don't participate. You observe them at a distance. They don't know you are observing them. You observe their body language. You don't ask. You don't interact, right? For example, let us say you go to the retail store. Let's say you go to the mall in Smart Reliance store or Smart Bazaar or Big Bazaar. You just observe what people are doing. It can be done in two ways. Personally, you observe them, or you can record it through the videographics. We will discuss that in detail. Yes, how about Jaya Prakash and then Sukhdev? Jaya Prakash, short. Anything
Regarding
other than what has been mentioned? Yeah.
It's from the point of sales also we are doing the surveys, point of sale. It's not from the retail outlets also we are doing the survey. Why the consumer taking that product, why not our brand?
Okay.
That's the best way to
Sure. So you go
our
to the
target
point,
audience.
ask the consumer. Good.
Yes,
Sometimes
yes.
we go for ghost shopping. These are ghost shoppers, meaning let us say I am from Samsung. I will go to the retail store and then I will say, can you give me some washing machine or refrigerator and see what he is doing? And then I will say, no, 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 Samsung is not good. So I will behave in a way to capture what the retailer is saying, doing, talking. They will not know I am from Samsung. Yeah, that is called show. Yes, Sukhdev.
Madam, mostly we get 5-star, 4-star, but there are some, grudge buyers who will give you 1-star, 2-star ratings. By having insights with those people, we can have a kind of better understanding of the customer needs.
Sure.
We may not be addressing.
Okay. Yeah, Sakshi, anything other than what has been mentioned?
Ma'am, when I was in the apparel company, we used to send visual merchandisers. So we had a different department of visual merchandising who would look over the different things of the different brands coming in the market and give us the survey as per the customer feedback also. And when I was working with B2B, so in the B2B organization, when we were directly selling to the licensees, we used to focus on having a direct relationship and having a direct feedback over the phone maybe by calling them or inviting them to the events and conferences, etc.
Have you ever, Sakshi, came across such type of experience wherein you are just moving on the corridor in a very relaxed, informal way and talk to your client?
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
getting it. It's not always about the product. Let me give
Yes.
one example. With my alumni, I have developed a business simulation game. So while we were just going on the corridors, we just interacted. Why not have some different ways of delivering? Can we have some new methodology? Just in a very free, frank, informally, something which is just a discussion can give you a lot of insight about our way of delivering or the business process, and there you can get a lot of information. If you look to page number 2, they said, sometimes what happens, you get the product and the product is lying. There is no one to fix it. There is no one to install it. There is no one to help us to understand the product. Why? Because there is no cohesiveness across the departments. So this is the department which is to do with the sales. Let's say this is the department which is to do with technical aspects. This is the department which is to do with services. If that is how the company is structured, sales have delivered the product, and but there is no cohesiveness between the sales and technical. So they have not come and fixed the product, installed the product, educated us or whatever. So therefore, if you remember, in service, if you want to make customer service experience extremely legendary or exception, then what you need to do is go for a holistic marketing. What is holistic marketing? As I said, for company, customer, employee. So that means company and customer, that advertising, communication, lot of reviews, feedback, that's happening, fine enough. Also, company and employee, you share the mission, the culture, the objective, the goal, empower them, make a culture where people know what is their role, how important they are. Also, there has to be an interactive communication or marketing between these two. So it should be informal. It should be something wherein I can raise my voice. I can, bring about my tantrums, and I should feel free. Yeah, nobody should force upon me. So therefore, this is all about external communication, which we do extremely well. External communication. We also are somewhat thick-talk in terms of internal communication or marketing, as well as interactive. So what we need to know is sometimes the service deficiency may be because of this and this, meaning departments are not well connected. So there is no good cohesiveness, and sometimes the employees, they are not empowered. So they are very mechanical in their answer. So they either rush and give some defective product or the competitor's product or do some quick fix which will not help. Now let's come to the customer centricity at IMC, which is page number 3. So if you look over here, it says we would offer disgruntled customers a new EMC replacement product or a comparable replacement product of IBM. Right. So in this way, you were able to manage and go for a quick fix, but not a long-term solution. And therefore, it sometimes raised in people who were not very, they were not very satisfied. And this was something which was captured in terms of their performance. So if you look over here, they are talking about because of this that they were not able to give them the deficiency fixed or defective product was given or people were not there. They figured out this would not be good because this would result in layouts and our, non-performing and not growth, moral loss. They came up with listening to voice of the customer, which is VOC, and they did it quarterly. Look over here, how serious they are. They don't just do it once in a while. They did it quarterly. And if you look over here, it says that EMC said how powerful were these sessions, which sessions they had quarterly customer voice. They were capturing the customer voice and they had this customer, if you can read that particular para, they named it as, what is that? Customer total, TCE, total customer experience. They were very beneficial. So he says, if you go to page number 4, that 50 to 60 customers join us 20 hours of intense discussion. Can you imagine the hours of discussions? They also collaborate. They made customer their collaborator. They would redesign. They would give you a lot of important information about your defective product. If you are coming up with a new product, they will give you a lot of suggestion, all free of cost, and it will be unbiased suggestions. And they said that, and these customer, they will not choose any customer. Yeah, they will not choose Gautam, possibly. Or they may choose Gautam because Gautam is very serious. He is a lead customer. He is a valued customer. He is willing to. He's a loyal customer. He raises his voice. So I will go for Gautam, may not be Mayank. Because even if Mayank is my customer, he may not be a motivated customer to get involved and collaborate. Just randomly, I'm picking the names. Yeah, don't take it in that sense. Okay, now can you tell me what is the difference between a hard selling and a consultative selling? The para second says in page number 4, sales process was transformed from hard selling into a consultative selling. What does it mean? Can anyone tell me?
Ma'am, can I?
Yeah, please go ahead. Samir.
Hard selling means like, if customer is not interested in product, or maybe he's interested, but the salesperson is pushing him to buy that product. That is hard selling. Say like generally it happens with life insurance. Instead of explaining the product benefit, generally emotionally or the salesperson try to engage the relationship. That is called hard selling. And if we talk about consultative selling, which means like, no, you become a consultant and you are explaining the overall benefit of that particular product, and you are linking that product with the customer need, and customer feels like, okay,
Fine,
buying.
that's good. That's good. So, can anyone give me very tangible, concrete, real life example of hard selling and consultative selling? No theory, application, practical application. Sometimes you did hard selling and sometimes you did consultative selling, or initially you did hard selling, now you are more into consultative selling. Practical example, can anyone give me?
Ma'am, so while in a
Shivendra, do you go for selling? Have you been into selling?
yes, ma'am, when I was part of marketing in LG, we went for selling this particular product. So I was taking care of water purifier at that point of time. So at stores, like unlike other water purifiers are selling, we are selling this water purifier. Like this is water purifier, it has this, it has that. Only hard selling measures were used, and we'll give you this much discount and that much discount. But now later on, when we feel that we are not having a good product, even then we are not achieving good number of sales. So we redefine the total sales stock to our those stores executives. So now when the customer visit the store executives interacts with them by asking them questions like, does your water purifier have these certain features? If not, because these features are essential, like it has stainless steel tank or not? Is it clear? Is the cleaning done by hands and not?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Pratik, would you like to give some practical real life example?
Sure, Professor. It is specifically related to my industry, and whenever so I work in robotics, and hospital do ask for robots for their surgeries. Whenever a demand comes in because it's a new technology, we go in and ask the questions which are relevant in context to how they will be able to capitalize on the system within the hospital. So instead of selling it right away, if somebody is asking, we go into depth and we understand what is the requirement. Will they be able to get in return on the investment which we are making? So we come in as an advisor rather than
I
pushing
will
it
tell
hard.
you how we do it, right? So let me give you an example, hard selling. So in hard selling, let's say there is a bald man who has no hair. If you sell him a comb, that's hard selling, and you're a good salesperson. But things have changed. You cannot sell a refrigerator to Eskimo forever, maybe once. Yeah, Eskimos don't require refrigerator. But you are an excellent salesperson, you can go hard selling, pitch it hard and sell it for one time. Second time, if you go, you know what will happen. So that's hard selling, pushing the product hard without understanding is there a need, and if there is a need, what particular product a person would go for. Now, when I'm going for consultative selling, you need to understand not only the consumer needs, requirement, no. You need to understand what is the purpose of purchasing a particular product. Let's say I would like to buy, let's say, a tablet, yeah, for taking online class. So you try to understand why you are purchasing this particular product. So I say online class, fine enough. So what is that you do in your online class, and how will this particular gadget or brand or model will enhance my productivity or maybe whatever I'm looking for? So I may say, when I go for an online class, I have only one screen in which I have to share my PPT, I have to share the whiteboard, I have to look to to the screen for the participants, I have to also see their chat. So can I have two gadgets which can take care of my PPT, my whiteboard? So when we elaborate on the process, either it may be business process, either it may be my process of delivering the service, person who is a good, smart salesperson will effectively understand the loopholes and how his gadget, product, or model will fit and help me in my productivity or tackling the problems which I have. So consultative selling is very, very, very tactful, requires a lot of insight, good way of pitching, what type of questions we will ask, and a good listening skill. Yeah. So most of you may be hearing me, but not listening to me. You understand the difference between hearing and listening? Yeah, you understand. So you should be an effective listener so that from what he says, you should then come up with the question. You cannot go with a prepared mindset. These are the 10 questions which I will ask. You cannot do that, cannot happen. Right? So therefore, that is a consultative selling. And they said that it was all about sharing needs, challenges. What challenges am I facing? What is my goal? Yeah. So let's say, my goal is sometimes I would like to break my students into break up rooms, give them small assignments so that they come prepared. All those things are challenges in an online platform. Can you do that? So all these things gives you value propositions. If you see over here, they have written it. And therefore, this went a long way to win the customers. Now, if you go for such a new selling approach, the customer also feels valued. He does not feel that you have come over here to sell the product. Ultimately, you will sell the product, yeah? So now look over here. It is becoming a event, EMC World Annual Event. How much return and outcome it generated. So the gentleman who said, Madam, we go for survey. Somebody said, Madam, we go for looking at the sentiments. I would suggest, okay, these are good things. These are very formal, structured way. Can you go for some informal way of interacting with the consumers who would not know that you are questioning them? Then they will become very formal and very artificial. Can you hit at them in a very unnatural or in a very indirect way and then get everything without their knowledge? Unconsciously, they will reveal so many things that they themselves will not know that we have said anything. How can you do that? So that means Samir will not know, but I have taken all the information about Samir's problem, about Samir's business. Not that I'm cheating, not that I'm hypnotizing, but he feels so free. Yeah, he feels so comfortable. Can you do that? How do you do it? Yeah. Yeah. Tell me. Any one of you, can you tell me anybody feels motivated when they speak to you? Do you think people share some very personal information? Do you feel they feel very confident to part with some confidential information? Have you ever? Do you think your clients, customer, friends, neighbors, colleagues, anybody? Be honest. Sukhdev, tell me. I don't think so. Your voice is clear, Sukhdev. I don't know what is the problem at your end. Not clear. It is. Okay, can you
problem.
give an example of
I won't speak today.
Sukhdev, your voice is not clear. It's breaking. I don't know what is the problem. Maybe your internet is not stable. Possible. Okay. So meanwhile, let me give example of Harley Davidson. HD. You know, Harley Davidson goes for fan clubs and goes for arranging riders. They have different types of riders. You understand what is riders? Rider means, let's say they have a rider which is an event, it's an annual event which they repeat with new face, new color, and new type of, activity, so that there is no element of boredom or monotony. So they have different types of rider for different types of segments. Some riders will be for a week, some will be for 15 days, some riders will be for a specific group of segment of people. So during these riders, the owners of Harley Davidson, that means the first is the owner, meaning the customer. Second is the sales force or the employee of Harley Davidson. Third is the distributors of Harley Davidson. And when I say owners, these are both the owners essentially have to be members, yeah, and the public. All are involved. How they are involved? The owners, meaning the members, will be trying to participate to register for the ride, and there is no guarantee that if you register, all will get a chance to participate in the ride. So it makes the feel of exclusivity, right? So therefore, people are very anxious, awaiting, will I be able to qualify? Second, the employees and the sales force, they are also a part of this rider, meaning they will also have the bike and ride along with the owners of the HD. And they will never give them a feel that they are the employee or the staff. They will go in the same ordinary dress, not in the dress of Harley Davidson. They will not have those type of a very formal way of interaction, communication. It's all very free. And this ride goes for days after days, and therefore you share nights together, you stay, you chat, you share the story, you eat, you participate. Everything becomes as if it is very informal way of activities. Distributors are the people, let's say this is the road where the people will drive for this particular event. At distance, these distributors will be setting their service station. So if in case there is some problem with Harley Davidson bike, they will fix it. Now, when they fix it, they also interact with whom? With the staff, with the owners. And these are informal. So through participation, you learn, and it is very unartificial. Because when you chat, you don't have any boundaries that I will not say this or that the question has only these 4 answers. It's not that. It's free flow discussions. And this public, the roads through which you will be driving, there will be lot of signage. There will be lot of points of breaking point, meaning you will take a rest, you will just relax, you will get some amount of mementos, gifts, and public will be staying over there, seeing, cheering the riders, and sometimes they also envy. They're envious of the riders because they are not able to drive Harley Davidson. The badges, the memento of Harley Davidson is a sense of pride, and therefore once they drive the entire day, when the night falls, they also arrange events where they share their story, they share their experience of the drive and everything which they can. So this is an event which is organized and which serves so many things. You develop friendship, yeah, you try to connect with the company, you feel as if HD is a part of your life. The company gains because they get a very first hand, yeah, unfiltered, natural response. Dealers also are very excited because this gives them a platform to excite people like public who are there. They also feel aspired. One day I will also be a owner of HD. So in one event, you are getting so much which you cannot in a survey. And survey will be very, very artificial. You have a question with the answer, question with the answer. Sometimes people feel frustrated and give all sorts of fraud or artificially cooked response. So if you look at this annual event, it resulted in how many? 7,000 customers partnered, employees, and the footfall was extremely huge and very encouraging. Yeah. So that is what you should be thinking of arranging for something which is to do with the community, with the fans, and with the members. So if you look to page number 5, they say everybody makes customer call. What does it mean? It means customer centricity is everyone's job, and employees are always almost on the call. That means they are in the life of the customers and they are able to understand and improve the customer's skills. So when you interact with the customer like HT, you can tell possibly you are not able to drive in a proper way. These are the ways how you should drive. These are the ways how you should maintain Harley Davidson. This is the way how you should fix. So you give them a lot of training through interactions, and these are very informal. And if you see over here, it resulted in high touch service to all the customer, and this resulted in 2000 18% of workforce consisted of dedicated service employees. So see, if you are arranging such events, it's not that easy, let me tell you. You need to know who plays what role. It has to be structured in such a way that there is neither an element of, I would say, so much structure that you feel bored. It should not be so loose that you feel confused and you get confused. It should be so well designed that you feel an element of fresh air, element of surprise waiting, and you enjoy every day as it unfolds. So arranging events are marvelous way of connecting, but it requires well design. You cannot have the same event again and again and again. I remember this is a forum. This is called Association of Consumer Research. So as a faculty, we go to a lot of forums to present our paper. Beyond a point, you know what happens. In good forums also, the day when you present the paper, hardly there will be anybody because there are people who will go for the site visit. So you feel bored. There is no one, only you are there. The chairperson is there and only other few presenters are there. Correct. And you will be also eagerly waiting when your presentation will get over so that you also go for a site visit. So now this ACR, what it has done, it has come up with very exciting way of adding on new light, new color. You know, they have documentary, meaning you can take pictures and present the paper instead of a PPT, instead of a text. It's all about a documentary, meaning a movie, a film, which you made on the theory. That's exciting and interesting, number one. Number two, it also has forums in between so that you don't go for site visit, wherein you can go for good networking. Yeah. So let's say I am searching for people with whom I can collaborate and work. This is a good forum. Third, they also have platforms. Some of the good conferences have platform like AMA, wherein you can also apply and get a job. So you need to understand how you can infuse new color, new blood, new life to the event. So it's extremely challenging, which you need to know. Okay. Now, if you look over here, let's go to the next page, which is page number 7. It's extremely important, which says, if you can go to that para last, but the before para, it says that cost became a big issue. Why cost becomes a big issue? Because they became very expensive. They were giving you full-fledged service. These were premium price, and because of the economy, there was some recession, there was some bubble, and therefore it resulted in bitter price war and price-sensitive customers. So therefore, they felt what should we do, and they came up with different types of branding, which is EMC Clarion. You see EMC Symmetrics, EMC Centera. These are all different types of products, different types of value proposition and the price. So when I'm talking about customer centricity, it's not only caring the customer, listening to the customer, having a free flow discussion. It is the entire culture and gamut of business, starting from product, price, people, process, promotion, physical distribution, customer events, yeah, insight, and all those things. Now, if you look over here, they said that one-stop shop of data need was not very good, which they had a very comprehensive plan. So they thought that we should not go for only one solution. And they also came up with offering a comprehensive information lifecycle management. If you go to page number 8, which said very important. For every client, they had a ILM, which is information lifecycle management. What does it mean? It means how will I manage my data? How will I protect my data? How will I share my data? And how will I store my data? So many things. Data. Correct. So are you helping me to give data which is to do with I will store it, I will share it, data should be very private. Can I predict based on my data some analytics on data, how much you can elaborate and extend? And also they went for not only storing of data, protecting data, data intelligence, meaning predicting, data virtualize and visualization of data. How can you make your dashboard look so very comprehensive that in one click people will understand everything? So just data, but so many branches of data. How would you know all these things? Only when you interact with customers. Customers will only say, like for example, I take classes and I use sometimes PPT, sometimes role play, many different methodology. Now, sometimes what I see, most of the times the audience would be eager to take clippings of the PPT. Correct. Because PPT, they think PPT, if I have, I can know everything. No need for PPT, just understand and write down certain points. So I said, can I do something when I'm using my PPT, the first line, when I show, then I click, automatically second line comes and the first line becomes blurred. Next, I go to line 3, the second line becomes blurred. Why? Because the focus of my audience is only on that line and not on the entire PPT. Attention. Only when you talk to me, because I am a user, I can give you more insight than you, because you have not used the product. You are selling the product. So therefore, all these things they understood by interacting with the customer who collaborated and gave them lot of feedback. Look over here, they went for full line of computer hardware, including PC, printer, server, system. They also went for consulting. And you know something which they made a mistake. Of course, during that time there was no mistake. They had a tie-up with IBM and HP. This was a win-win for certain time, but then it became a nuisance for them, pain in the neck, because IBM said, why not me go full-fledged without taking your partnership? So you need to preempt, if tomorrow this does not work out, what should I do? You should not fall flat. So let's come to page number 9, which was all about moving to VAR sales model. Very, very important. So what they did was, which I said, they, if you can go for the first para, it said that their product, which was Clarion, was positioned to appeal to mid-market. So all brands have their own segment and you need to position it accordingly. It should not appear that it's a mid segment, but you are positioning it, which gives a feel that it's a premium brand. Then it's a wrong positioning. And then they said that EMC named Dell a reseller of the product. So Dell will resell the product, and therefore they rebranded EMC Dell. Sometimes, if you are not a known brand, you are not doing very well, but you go for Dell, the name with EMC, it automatically sells because Dell is a known brand. So Dell is a powerhouse to sell server. So you need to know with whom, why, when should you tie up with Dell. So therefore, they tried with VAR sales model. Initially, it was successful, as I said, but later on, it did not give them that much of success. So they said that the value-added resellers, while decreasing the cost, why your VAR sales model is less costly? Can anyone tell me? Yeah, why it is less costly? Sukhdev, if you're, I think now your audio may be okay. Just speak, Sukhdev. Yeah, Sukhdev, I think he's not there. Yes, how about Prateek? And Mayank, you have raised your hand.
Sharing of resources and technology.
Mayank, what resource technology? Can you be a little more specific?
Now, like Dell has a technological edge of making the servers and everything, while EMC has the technological edge on
If
making
you
the
are
storage
going
device.
a VAR model, meaning you will not have a very large sales force. So recruiting, training, motivating, all those things, salary, all these things can become lean, can be small, can be thin, because you are depending on value added resale model, wherein you put it onto them. They have the the responsibility to sell your product, so you haven't to maintain a very complex large direct sales force of your own. Now if you go to November 2009, para last but one, page 9, they announced a partnership with Cisco. Not only IBM, not only Dell, even Cisco. And this was all about jointly sell their data center equipment to business. So sometimes you tie up, it's not bad, but you need to be very, very careful on all these partnerships. And this strategic alliance was all about technology and sales collaboration. So somebody may be technically very good, somebody may be very good in sales, so you can collaborate in that way. So Cisco networking and server product, and EMC storage security and virtualization product. So therefore, that partnership, that collaboration was good. But then, until Dell ended the low end of the data storage, acquiring service data, several data storage and security firms, this strained the relationship between EMC and Dell relationship. They decided they would have their own in storage, which is fine, but then it would be a real tough time for EMC. So what does it mean? Does it mean that we should not go for partnership, joint venture, collaboration? No, you go. Till you feel it is giving you benefit, you go. But when you feel it is not giving you benefit, you can always separate it out. This is to be coined in your MOU. But if you are not separating, it is the partner who is separating. You need to preempt and be extremely careful what you will do in such events. So therefore, if you figure it out, what did they do? They thought that let us try to search for ways how we can do it. So they started thinking, can we go for a digital instead of depending on the VRS, instead of depending on a very expensive, hard designed, heavy sales people who have to go physically, face to face, direct interaction. So you need more sales people. They have to devote a lot of time. They thought, why not replace this high tech with the digital interaction with the customer, and therefore they said these salespeople will not only be salespeople to sell, but something which is beyond sales. That means marketing. What does it mean? Understanding the need of customer, striking a relationship with the customer, nurturing the relationship and developing the relationship with your clients, taking them forward in the sales channel, not in the funnel, which is search of information and need recognition. So you need to see as the buyer progresses through various phases of buying process. If you can read page number 10, last para, the vendor organization by seeing, receiving, using, responding to the information. If you take them through the entire journey, you can get to know much more information, and therefore possibly if we can make it a digital world. This is a very important line. If you can come to page number 11, para 2, excellent, last line. Excellent service is not about consistency. That's the thing you have to give. But it is about surprise above the consistency. You should be always consistent. So it is taken for granted. But sometimes you should give some good surprises. So EMC goal was to move customer beyond mere satisfaction into loyalty. Yeah. So yes, customers were very satisfied. They were very happy with all these, changes in terms of their culture, in terms of their focus, in terms of their expansion. But they wanted that customers should go beyond satisfaction. So what is beyond satisfaction? Can anyone tell me? Satisfaction, in my last class I had said, is expectation, is
Delight.
experience. Yeah. So you have to delight the customer. How it will be when this and this is greater than the expectation. Very good. It's delight. Now for delight, you have the customer who is delight will be loyal. He will not only be satisfied, he will be loyal. What is loyal? Loyal means two things. One is behavioral loyalty, and one is attitudinal loyalty. So what is behavioral loyalty? Meaning you are buying again and again. What are you buying again and again? The same brand, the same company's a brand. So maybe you're buying Tata car again and again. Anytime you go for a new car, you just stick to Tata brand. That's behavioral. But what is attitudinal? I cannot buy more than a number of cars. Attitudinal means I will always talk about Tata, may not be in terms of my action, but in terms of my expression. Meaning, I will speak positive, I will participate, I will collaborate, I will wait eagerly to give you feedback. If you want my voice, if you want my input in your product design, I would eagerly do it without any expectation that you will give me incentive. I will do free of cost. Yeah. And I will not only do that, I will give you design idea. I will ensure people buy from you. I may become a part of selling the product. Yeah, the new product. So I can go in any ways to any extent. So they wanted to make a strike for loyalty. So loyal customers, very important line. Loyal customers, if you can go all of you, page number 11, the with how could EMC ensure that it was a strategic partner for its core customers. Strategic partner, you understand, that means you do everything for them, like a turnkey projects. So if you go over there in the line which says EMC goal was to move customer beyond satisfaction to loyalty. So what does it say? It says that monthly survey measured and calculated customer loyalty index, CLI, customer loyalty index, and for each customer and customer were only dubbed loyal if they met three conditions. If they are meeting three conditions, then only they would be named or they would be categorized as loyal. Number one, if they were satisfied with EMC people, very important, people, product, service. If they were ready and willing to recommend, we call it as NPS, Net Promoter Score. So if they are willing to recommend EMC to somebody else, if they are willing to purchase EMC product and service again in future. So today I'm using Dell. After 5 years, 10 years, when I upgrade, when I think of a new one, it should be only Dell. You know, my mobile Samsung has been old now. I think it's more than 5 to 6 years and it is not supporting 5G. Now, when I am thinking of buying a product, my husband says go for Apple, but I will say no, I will go for Samsung, even not Chinese brand. I'm so comfortable with Samsung, right? So that's what when you buy in future. Next, it says loyal customer are 50% more willing to adopt a new product and service. You know, loyal customer will be eagerly waiting. Harry Potter, what happens? People wait midnight on the street, eagerly waiting for the arrival and be the first one to have a glimpse of the product. Next is loyal customers are 10 times less costly than acquiring a new customer. Extremely important. Your existing customer, if you make them happy, which is not that costly, they will remain and give you extraordinary return. But capturing or attracting or acquiring a new customer is extremely painful, expensive, and a different ball games. So therefore, you need to understand customer digital body language, meaning does your existing customer whom you want to make them loyal, do they have a presence in the digital world? Number one. Number two, do you think one size will fit to all because you have now diversified in every ways? Will it be feasible and profitable? How would you act upon to manage the relationships with so diverse customer? Because you want to give a high touch versus a high technique. So high touch means you need to be extremely personal. High technique means technology oriented. So let us say your customers are now very digitally sound and you want to have everything digital. Would you be able to make them loyal? So go to page number 12. So therefore it says that they came up with a digital marketing agency and they had the website which was www.emcw.com and it was to be made more customer centric. They were very simple for user. They generated lead. It was easy to communicate. And you could connect to them with blogging, podcasting, and other social applications. You know, they had many different topics to talk about. And then they said about a community which was real-time responsive information sharing community and a counselor. They talked a lot about networking, virtual advisor, and all these things, right? So essentially, what they are trying, this particular case ends up with a question or a look ahead, meaning how we look forward, what will be our journey forward. So they said that we would go do away with the old ways of doing business, where we were more into physical one-to-one with a holistic approach. We would like to go for a customized approach, more digital, and we would like to see that people are able to connect through the community, right? Three things. So to get a loyal customer, go digital, have your own communities, and also see that you have the technical blend into your service, into your product, or into your consent. So therefore, they say, if this is what we are looking forward for, would you think that our VAR selling model will mesh well, meaning fit well with the company's goal for customer centricity? And will technology adequately replace hand-holding experience, which we have been giving to customers through more of a natural, direct, face-to-face personal experience? This is how the case is, orchestrated, and then it ends up with a vision of forward looking where they would like to move forward in that direction. So therefore, may I take the suggestions of the participants? If you say that yes, they should go forward with digital on their own, not a real value-added reseller, why do you say so? Yeah. So let's take 5 minutes to just discuss about if VAR, value-added service resellers, and their own approach of going digital. Yeah. So what you do, don't say we will go here, we will go here. What you do is say what are the plus, what are the minus, what are the plus, what are the minus in the context, their product and their customer. So figure it out. Yeah. So what will be the plus? So product is extremely, more of a technology product. So they give hardware, they give software, they give consulting and services. And customers are corporate, sophisticated corporates, mid and small size and individual customers. So do you think for all of them we will go for digital, or do you think for few we will go digital, for some we will go VAR? What is your suggestion? And then you have to say why. Why you are saying what you are saying. Yes, very, very precise. Taran, what is your suggestion?
They should go for digital for the products that can be easily trained because that will give them the scalability. Whereas VAR should be for the exclusive, like they had already had 3 buckets of the clients with Clarion and all. So for the exclusive high-end clients, they should be relying on VAR, but for the masses, they should go with the digital. That's my take.
What about Alok?
If we talk about the comparison between VAR and digital, so if we talk about the product is technical, so I think so it should go with the VAR, because in terms of technicality, it will be better than to channelize, and value addition resellers are more comfortable to consult with the customer in terms of providing all detailings about the product and services. So they should go with VAR.
Okay, anyone would like to give any other answer? This case can be approached in many ways. One of the ways, let's see, should we go for demand fulfillment, demand creation? First is creation, then is fulfillment, and then is service fulfillment. So I would say maybe for demand generation, we can go digital. For demand fulfillment, we can go for VAR, and for service fulfillment, we can go digital. Why I'm saying digital for services, it would be based on preventive rather than corrective. Meaning you should have such type of, which they had. They had a system which could predict before there is a error or before the system was dysfunctional. They had such a scenario, such a case. So this will delight the customer that before I had the problem, they could detect it well in advance that the the hardware or the software might end up giving some problems. So therefore, digital will only be able to, through AR and all this mixed reality, you will be able to have such type of smart technology which can detect more to preventive than correction. When I'm saying creation, demand creation requires understanding. That I need such a product, that this product will help me in solution, which requires a lot of consulting. Yeah, it's not necessary that I have to go physically to give you consulting. I can have a blog. Yeah, and I can have a vlog. I can have a YouTube, which you at your convenient time, whenever you are free, you can sit and just watch it. Or you can log in onto my blog, question me. Yeah, sometimes I can also go live, which I said in one of my class, live streaming. So I can show you gadgets and say, when I use this gadget, I use it for this purpose and this is the result. Like, let us say, when you want to show that this is the best gadget of Apple, you can always say, the photographer who is a veteran has used this photography or this particular device of Apple, and therefore the photography has been so good. Apple does it. So therefore, you need to understand that this such a type of visualization, presentation is awesome when you are digital than when you are physical, because you cannot go with all device. But in digital, you can connect. You can say, fine, I'm making all sorts of presentation. Also, I will be inviting few of the clients who have used our product. So they will be testimonials. Yeah. So I would say that instead of taking it through this product, I will go VR, this product, I will go digital, I will empower customers, let them take their own decisions. So I will go for more of a omni. So channels will rather, complement each other, wherein if anybody would like to go for demand gen creation, log in to my blog, to my videos, to my YouTube, to my webinars. In case you give me that this is what I would be going as as a business, we will be giving you this much number of orders. Maybe I can go for a demo. I can physically visit and I can work it out on their factory site or maybe on their work site, only based on assurance of the order. And then fulfillment will be naturally, I will go, I will deliver, I will fix, I will give a demo. And then service will be more to do with virtual, because people will like it. You need not to have a lot of sales force. It will be cost effective. And you will not go for always corrective, but you can go for a preventive, and that can make your customer extremely loyal. Yeah, so that is one way how you can, address this case. There are many other ways how you can address this particular problem. Yeah, so any questions? Okay, any questions? So let me summarize what was discussed today, then I will come to it. Okay, let's go for Vaidya. You have any questions? And then
Ma'am, you can summarize and then I'll ask. It's not regarding the case, but the overall one. Yes.
Yeah. So yes, Mayank had a question possibly. Yeah. Fine. So one thing you need to understand, this case is all about, the journey from pure goods to pure services, and also a hybrid. And you saw how they diversified into different types of customers. And they also, tried to work on each of the P. If you look at the product, from one product, they diversified into 4,000 plus and many more in their line. In terms of price, where they were premium, they came up with different brands to reflect different types of price so that they could serve price sensitive customers. In terms of promotion, they not only went with a very conventional way of advertising and things like that, they went for community, they went for collaborating with customer, getting their reviews, their feedback, and they did it very scientifically and annually, very seriously, to get their input and to have the voice which they wanted to listen. In terms of your physical distribution, They went for different types of experiments. They went for value-added resellers. They had their own sales force. They had tie-up with IBM and Cisco. They experimented many, and now they don't shy away with the digital experiments. So they want to go digital, but then they are pondering upon in what way they would like to go for digital. So if you see the journey of the entire, this particular company, customer centricity, of course, is their crux, is the culture, but it's not only customer. It is well designed in product, price, promotion, physical distribution, people, meaning from sales, which is hard selling, to consultative selling, right? It's all about process, right? Process is all about how you listen to the customer, how you go for experimenting with different types of your physical distribution. That's the process, yeah. And physical evidence is all tangible, how their profit has gone up, how the footfall has gone up, how customers are now giving them a good, it has changed the perception. It's tangible, right? So therefore, we saw all the P's in this particular case. This is a very good case. I would suggest each and everyone to go through this case. It's a case on B2B, but it also dwells into individual customer, and it talks about everything starting from product till the last P, which is the product, price, promotion, physical distribution, people, process, and physical evidence. Yes, I'm done. I'm done with this case. The case is over. I gave my approach. This can be built in many different ways. I would suggest you please do discuss beyond the class. Next class, we will go in the greater detail about how to capture consumer bodies through different techniques. Thank you all. Have a good day. If you have any questions, feel free. While they go forward, please. Others may leave, not issue. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah, ma'am, basically we have reached the seventh session of this module, and we just wanted to understand how the assessment or the quiz structure is going to be like, because we just had our
the quiz.
Correct, and I can also see there's an individual assignment, so just wanted a clarity on that.
The exams, ma'am.
So what I can do, Vaidya, let me check with the office what is the pattern, and then I will come back to you. So what I would suggest, can you just remind me next class before I start the session, I can brief on this?
Sure, I'll do that.
Then also need to ask, is there any book that we can refer to for detail purpose? Any particular book we can refer to?
For what? Book is for what?
For the examination purpose and all. Like
I would suggest Shivendra, generally I don't go for theoretical questions. I don't like it.
Okay, ma'am.
I will go for application-based questions. So therefore, it is your brain which would be a better book than a book.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am, it will be a live exam or there will be assignments given to us?
Let me just check from the office. I will get back to you, Gautam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last exam we got a very time constraint, so ma'am, that is also a request.
Was it my question?
No. It was a different exam. Means though we were able to answer all.
Okay, it's okay. So you, if I can cut it short, you mean to say you should have enough time to think, and
A little bit time, kind of.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I will give you so that you dwell, you think, and then you write. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you so much.
But Gautam, what I would suggest, generally I see people copy paste something which is flying in the Google university or chat GPT or some universities. I would appreciate, Gautam, even if your answer is simple, answer from your
right, ma'am.
Whatever you think is correct. That would be more unique. That I can connect. But if you just copy paste what is there in university, like ChatGPT and WhatsApp and Google, it does not connect. Therefore, the marks may go low.
Ma'am, last time what happened, the content was, I think so, it's a MCQ based questions were there. MCQ based questions were there. So we were able to understand the questions and we were know about the answers also, but we do not have very much time to think and relate with the answers.
Understood.
So this is the main query we all I think
Don't
so we
worry,
are having with
I
us.
will brief you in detail what is expected from you and what will come in the exam. I will not give you the question, but I will give you a direction. Yeah. All of you have a good day. Stay safe. Thank you. Let us end.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.